Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video, a request on band Lord Huron, and through their song Fall for Love, we looked at that very thing. Sometimes we just got to go for it. So I trust you found that one encouraging. Well, we go on to a bunch of guys who started out as the Ivies in 1961 in Swansea in Wales. Pete Ham, Mike Gibbons, Tom Evans and Joey Molland. And then these guys were the first band to be signed to Apple Records, which of course was the Beatles label in 1968. And because of that, these guys kind of hit the ground running with 4 consecutive worldwide hits. The guys were talking about a Badfinger. So they started out as the Ivies in 1961, and then they became Badfinger a little bit later on down the track. Such memorable songs from these guys, and we'll get onto a few of those in a minute. What can we say about Badfinger? They ushered in the power pop genre pretty much. Pretty rocky, pretty tight, really, really good harmonies. And just all round musos really. A probably slightly rockier version than the Beatles, but still, pretty compelling band, these guys, and they go down as history as sort of making a really massive difference in a very short space of time. As also often what goes along with bands that success, certainly around that mid-1970s, there was certainly after the Apple record stopped in 1973, it all kind of went a bit of a trick after that. The band was embroiled in legal, financial and management issues. Stan Poley, who was signed up with these guys as their manager, didn't really do very, very well by these guys. Kind of took them for a bit of a ride, a little bit. And so it's a bit of a shame that these guys kind of what happened to them. But between 1970, bearing in mind there was one album for the Ivies in 1969, between 1970 and 1981, there are 8 studio albums. So 8 studios in 11 years is not bad. 14 singles, estimated these guys have sold 14 million albums. Now, when they were signed across to Warner Brothers a little bit later in their career, they had the part of the contract was 2 albums a year. And I think that's pretty what did it in. There was just too much pressure with promoting your last album, writing songs for the new album, and recording and the whole rest of it. And certainly there's been some tragedy in this band because at the age of 27, it all got very much for Pete Ham, and he committed suicide in 1975. This was followed by Tom Evans in 1983 at the age of 36. And so, and then Mike Gibbons died of a brain aneurysm in 2005, and he at the age of 56. And at the time of doing this video, Joey Molland is still going. So yeah, what can we say about Badfinger? They were a very, very good band, these guys. Very tight musically, very tight harmonies. They had the look on stage, and they had the popularity and the really, really good songwriting behind them. Now, when you look at Badfinger and you see some of these songs, you realise, oh, I didn't know that these guys did this one. Well, that was very much a surprise when I looked at some of these songs today. And when I got these songs in a bit of an order, it kind of makes a bit of sense, and we can tell a bit of a thing about relationships and almost something about a band as well. So in 1978 came the album Magic Christian Music, and the song Come and Get It was written by Paul McCartney. What can we say? Very much the Beatles' influence with these guys at the start. And Come and Get It's all about, look, here I am, girl, come and get me. Now, obviously, there you can think about what that may think about, but if you think about that a bit broader and say, look, I'm here, girl, I like you, I want you to like me, let's go for it. It's a little bit like that Fall for Love video from last time. So very much come and get it, girl. I actually like you. I think you're pretty nice, and I actually want to get to know you. So come and get it. Sometimes you just got to say these things. Sometimes, because sometimes we get a little bit nervous and a bit scared. We don't ever say these things, but sometimes we've got to have the confidence to say, come and get it. So we got that one. We then go, so the relationship might have got, no, she might have actually come and got it. And then we got No Matter What You Do. This is another song by Badfinger, which I didn't realise. Written by Mel Evans, producer of the Beatles for a fair bit of their career, from the album No Dice in 1970. And this song's all about no matter what you do, I'll always be with you, girl, yes, you. So this sort of after the come and get it phase, you get into the commitment phase and the phase of, yeah, let's just do this thing and see where it goes. We then got Baby Blue. Now, this is probably the most well-known song of Badfingers. Well, actually, these songs are all pretty well-known, but this is the one I think of the most. Very famously featured in the last episode of Breaking Bad, the 5th season, when it all kind of fell apart for Walt. And, of course, you know, the drug that he was making was blue, and so It's All Over Now, Baby Blue. It just kind of made sense. And so this is very much about, look, I'm not quite sure how things are going right now. And you know what? I don't actually understand you at all. I don't understand this relationship. So it's all over now, Baby Blue. So we've gone from coming and getting it to no matter what you do to Baby Blue. This is the poignancy and the volatility of relationships. Then after that, we get into Day After Day. This came off the album Straight Up from 1972. This one was produced by George Harrison, of course, Beatles royalty right there. And this song's all about, hey, you know, I've tried my best. I've done everything I can to be with you and do everything I can. And I'm really, really sad that we're kind of no longer together, but I'm kind of still hoping a little bit. And, you know, day after day, I've actually tried to actually make the right thing, but I can't see it getting any different. So we got Day After Day. And then we got Without You. Now, who would have thought such an iconic song as this one was written by and first sung by Badfinger? This was a real surprise, this one, because people such as Mariah Carey have recorded this one. It's, you know, when you get probably a bit more of an epic, saga-y kind of style as well. When Badfinger brought this one out, again off the No Dice album from 1970, it was very much just a sort of a power ballad, and I suppose in lots of ways ushered in that whole genre. So Without You is very, very obviously all about, hey, really, really sad you're not around anymore. I'm kind of missing you, and life, I'm not sure how life's going to go without you. That's kind of where that was. So we go. We've got the whole gamut of relationships there. Ryan reminds me a little bit of the song by The Script called 5 Degrees of Separation, and very much we get from that I don't want to know you to realizations, perhaps learnings that we need to have, that we don't have to make the same mistake next time. So isn't it great how, you know, you put songs in a particular order and you kind of get a bit of the story out them. You could put your own name into that story if you've been through it. Or you're thinking, well, I've been through this, now what am I going to do next time? Perhaps I won't say come and get it quite as much. I might sort of say more like, hey, let's get to know each other. And, you know, because we don't want to get again to the without you time, because it's like, oh, all right, so I'm here again. How did that happen? Love is a potent force of nature. As I've said it a few times, one day you're not in love and the next day you are. It's kind of the way things are. And so it's always good to have a little bit of a thinking about this sort of thing. When you're on your own, you're thinking, well, if love turns up again, what am I going to do this time that was different to last time? And also realising that there's no perfect person out there. So you might be looking for the person to tick all these boxes, but they probably don't exist. So there's going to be a bit of compromise required on your side as well. So the links to those 5 clips, again, we've got Come and Get It, which is live, No Matter What, which is live, Day After Day, which is the official clip. Baby Blue is an official clip, but I actually found a clip of Joey Molland singing this one, so we've actually got a live version of that one as well. We might as well get official and live for that one. And then we've got a live version of Without You. Now, a lot of these live clips are in the studio. I mean, it's TV studio, but that's okay. And how glowing have we got Kenny Rogers in 1972? I think this was one of his shows with the Baby Blue clip saying, it's very hard to come out from under a shadows as big and as illustrious as the Beatles, but it gives these guys a lot of credibility and originality. And so very respected by the industry, Badfinger, and it's just one of those bands that always just gets remembered for the incredible impact they've made on the world of music for around 10, 11 years. So the links to those 5 songs are in the description below. Actually, well, 6 clips, and my video from Lord Huron from last time is there as well. So if you want to recap on them, feel free. Well, if you're back for another one, as we've looked at relationships from beginning to end, is what tends to be these days. I trust it's been encouraging for you today. And thank you for hanging around to everybody. It's great to see the engagement that we have been getting of late. So that's it for today. Next time we're going to go on to another person that I forgot about. And how can you forget about this guy, Buddy Holly? So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.